I'm fine.
Hey, can you give me the name of a book you think would be good to read for summer?
Mm, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
All right. So far, we have Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Andrew.
Diarrhea? What?
Yeah, not diarrhea.
What?
We used to make that joke all the time when we were kids. We'd say, "Teacher, I have my diarrhea," and she'd say, "Not funny, you guys," because we knew we were making that mistake. All right. So, Billy, what book do you like recently? You could just say that's my summer book. I want to read it. By the way, Billy, cool fish tank behind you. Is that what is that fish? Is it saltwater or freshwater? What is that fish? You have this mysterious fish in a tank behind you. It's kind of cool. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I thought bought it and he
Yeah.
bought it a long time.
That's an expensive goldfish, Billy. Yeah, that's an expensive goldfish in there. Pretty cool. I like it. All right, you guys, I'm going to get today's debate stuff because you did a nice job. And we're going to have Mr. Andrew Nyo read about the Diary of a Wimpy Kid because I've been reading small pieces of this book for a really long time, almost like 15 years now, because all the kids at the international school in Korea who live in Japan, they had to read this book for school. So, Andrew, can you read the Diary of the Wimpy Kid?
I recommend Diary of Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney for our summer vacation reading. This book, written in humorous diary format, follows the life of middle schooler Greg Heffley as he navigates the ups and downs of school, friendships, and family life. The relatable scenarios and funny illustrations make it an engaging read for students of our age group. Through Greg's misadventures, readers can learn important lessons and resilience, creativity, and the value of staying true to oneself. The lighthearted tone and accessible language and also makes it a great chance for encouraging reluctant readers to pick up a book during the break.
Hmm.
Diary Wimpy Kid also provides an excellent opportunity to explore themes relevant to our own lives, which is dealing with peer pressure, handling embarrassing situations, and understand the complexities of growing up. The book subtly addresses the challenges of splitting in and finding one's place, which are common experiences for middle school students. By reading and discussing this book as a class, we can foster a sense of camaraderie and shared understanding. Although the humor and reliability of the story can make our discussions more lively and enjoyable, making it a perfect choice for our summer reading.
Or summer reading. Andrew's microphone went out. So these are really good points, Andrew. Ups and downs of friendships, relatable scenarios, funny illustrations, engaging read for students of our age group, misadventures, learn more about resilience, creativity, value staying true to oneself. Um, and I like this part here, Andrew. Encourages reluctant readers. That means kids who just don't want to read during summer vacation. Their teacher says, I have a summer reading list, and the students say, ah. And some kids don't read the book. They just don't find it interesting or they're lazy, right? Andrew, this is
Yeah.
also good. Excellent opportunity to explore themes relevant to peer pressure, handling embarrassing situation, understand the complexities of growing up. And it's all done with comedy. So, Andrew, this is a great one. By the way, Andrew, if you want, you can
Yeah.
use the British humor.
Oh,
You could use OUR.
yeah.
It's fine. Another word is glamour or glamour. The British and Americans always, glamour or glamour. All right, nice work, Andrew. And so this kind of answers the question also, why would a teacher give the students a summer reading list? Because it teaches you dealing with peer pressure, embarrassing situations, fitting in, finding one's place. It's part of your education, your social education. So I'll write here on Andrew's notes, it's part of a student's social education. Now, remember, there's the education of math, science, reading, English, Vietnamese, grammar, PE class, but there's also social education where you get to work with other people and you have to learn to get along well with other people. And that's the second half of education. And teachers have been trying to do this more and more for the last 60 or 70 years all around the world. They say the student just being in class and working with others is called social education. And that's an important part of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Nice work, Andrew. Let's see. I also like this one here. Suvia, are you here?
Yes.
Suvia, can you read this one? This one's really good too. I like this. I'll highlight it. Here's Suvia's work. Using debate language. Thank you, Suvia.
I advocate for spaghetti.
Yeah, for 1,000 questions why. I advocate for
1,000 Questions Why. In that book, there are stories that tell us about a boy that likes to ask questions and how his family answer all these questions. Each story is another lesson to help us learn about the world that we are living. This book helps us learn about many topics like math, literature, self-defense ability, but most of it are about science. It also teaches us how to keep a good relationship with other people, which is very important in a daily life.
Nice, Suvia. Suvia, this is good because the boy who asks all these questions connects directly to what we're going to learn today about the famous Greek guy Socrates, who went around the city of Athens asking questions, till the people got tired of him. And they said, you're asking dangerous questions and you're changing the minds of our young people. So this boy sounds like Socrates of ancient Greece. And we're going to read that today. We're going to find out about that today. Let's just take a look. There's Teacher Brendan. Hello, everyone. Okay. That's kind of funny, you guys. All right. How about Anna? Anna, are you here? Anna.
Yes.
Can you read this one, Anna? And this is again good.
Educated for Nobody Boys, written by Hector MacLeod. The touching story about a little boy, Remy, who always wanted to have a real family. After all difficulties, finally he found his family and lived a happy life. With a simple and rustic storytelling, Hector MacLeod has put the readers into many levels of emotions. Laugh at the animals' innocent actions, cry because of the huge loss that they themselves wonder how just a little boy could overcome. Curious what happened next in Remy's journey. Because of all these meaningful lessons, human values, Nobody Boys had become a classic novel for decades and a best-selling book for countless readers around the world.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before, Anna. I want to research this. Nobody's Boy. It sounds almost kind of like a sad title, doesn't it? Nobody's Boy. Is it kind of sad? Let me see. Yahoo Images. Let's find Nobody's Boy with a character called Remy, you guys. Andrew, you have a question?
Do you know
Nobody's Boy.
Pinocchio?
Yeah, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Why do you ask, Andrew? Pinocchio.
Because I was watching a video and it said if Pinocchio said my nose is about to grow, then that would be might be true, but might be a lie. And then there's no might grow, might not grow.
Okay. Hey, Anna, this says Remy sans famille. You guys who speak French, it means Remy, a boy without a family, but they translated it into English Remy as nobody's boy, but in French it's sans famille, sans famille. I think that's the pronunciation. It means a boy without a family. So it was like a French book. This looks really nice. Anna, I like this. This looks really beautiful. I think it might be kind of sad. Oh my God, the guy has a monkey on his shoulder. Look at this monkey, you guys. It's really crazy. All right. Thanks very much for that. And there was the other book, you guys, that besides Nobody's Boy, Fiona wrote this one here. And Fiona, this is presentation style, but that's okay too, because presentation is so closely connected to debate. It's kind of long. Would you like to read it, Fiona?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go.
This is gonna be so hard. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. In today's way, I know that you guys have lots of recommendations for books such as comic books, fictitious books, novels, fairy tales, literature, romance for teenagers, etc. And of course, as always, you might not mind my little recommendation. Believe it or not, I'd advocate a motivated read about success, which is like a nightclub with 3 doors named oh wait named name is opening and closing scenes. The third door, 2018 by Alex Banadian, I think so, which I
Yeah,
have,
buddy.
I have been reading lately. The story starts with the way how billionaires are well known and successful nowadays, like nowadays, in a way nobody expects. He says in the first page of the book, the third door is a nightclub. Oh wait, is it? What is that? An analogy?
Nightclub analogy. Yeah.
Analogy, where states that in a nightclub there are there are 3 doors. The first one is the most conventional one where 90% of the people wait in line. The people in the front of the line usually go in, and people at the back are left out. The second door is the VIP one, where people with power and the blessed ones go in. For most people, they are the only 2 doors, but there's always a third door. However, nobody gives you scope that the third door on your eyes. You have to figure it out. Mm. This can be a door for the kitchen, or the back of the club, on maybe a fire exit. Now, most people are not welcome. Welcome what?
Yeah. What is that
A
one?
welcome
Yeah.
through the
Welcome.
door. Eventually, there is an exclusive way for how Bill Gates, Stephen B. Birch, Lady Gaga, Larry King, and Tim First became successful people in socialism. All of them chose the third door, and now this is step 4. Because their time is really valuable, and no one would rather use their time to hear and see the advice of an anonymous. Anonymous? No, what's that? The person who they don't even know yapping and haven't done yet the book yet. It's like,
It sucks. Funny.
let's begin. Carry on. The third door is dark and suitable for some business who are just on the way to reaching success. The plot is about how freshman can meet and interview his mission to orientate his life when he just turns 18, and how he didn't meet his virtual expectation. Instead of failures, there were lots of plot twists that readers been like, I don't know how to tell people now that Team Tartan.
Where is it?
It's right there. It's been
Oh,
like
opposite. Failure is not the opposite of success.
no,
It's part of it.
is that no wait, is it like yes, is that one?
Huh.
What was that?
I'm not sure. Let's see, and how he didn't meet his virtual expectation. Instead of failures, there were a lot of plot twists that the reader spins, like teetotum. I'm not sure what that is. I learned wholeheartedly that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. It makes me freak out, which I love this line, Fiona. It makes me freak out. That's really funny. My friends and I used to say that like 45 years ago in middle school, because it's actually based on a story, a true story. Yeah. This saying means a lot. I've been engrossed in the way he dealt and faced with obstacles, and it is something that makes me want to put myself in the author's shoes to feel how challenging it is. Honestly, it's so moving that somebody would cry. Unfortunately, my eyes are still dry. The last word at the bottom of my heart might be full of baloney with a secondary school to read business books. However, I'm not a book critic, but I still appreciate whatever I read each page, whenever I read each page. This read is packed with shocking turnouts or outcomes, and the way he finds the other solution. I promise I don't need my money worth back for sure, and certain you won't be. Just means you don't regret buying this book. You don't want your money back, Fiona, because it's so great. Okay, we'll have to remember that one, you guys. If anyone's interested, it's called The Third Door. It does sound pretty cool. All right. By the way, in my comments, Fiona, I wrote, you know, that Bill Gates and that other guy, Mark Zuckerberg, they didn't even finish their Harvard education. They left after year 3. So that's also a new model, leaving after year 3. Okay. So you guys, let's see, we've done about 20 minutes. We kind of have a long lesson for some things I want to teach you today that are important, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't teach them to you. This is called deductive reasoning, and you guys are already using it. It's just we have to talk about it in depth. It's called deductive reasoning. It's used in debate, it's used in logic, it's used in research and in your school papers. Tina, are you there? Hello, Tina. Tina,
Yeah.
Tina, can you read this? It's kind of my own thoughts, but if you would like to read this, blue box.
All right. This is an important type of logic used extensively in debate. If you practice this way of thinking or analyzing things, your writing, debate skills, presentation, and even everyday thinking will become very sharp or focused. You will find answers to difficult questions come more quickly and more easily. Let's take a look at this skill. Remember, in a debate, it's important to define terms right away. For example, in a debate about what would be one good book for a summer reading list, you could ask the debate audience, what exactly makes a book valuable for a young teenager to read over the summer? Many of you have done a good job of addressing that question, and we will cover your responses in our lesson.
Yeah, so Fiona and Andrew gave really good reasons, like this is why this would be a good book for young teenagers to read as a summer thing. Then I just put this one, if you wanted to get really deep and heavy, you could say, what exactly is the purpose of a summer reading list, all right? And then in debate, you could say, well, who is this reading list for? Remember stakeholders, you guys? We learned that word so many times, stakeholders. You would say, well, this is a real lawyer or debate response. Well, who exactly is this reading list for? Now, if you have a 12-year-old student who's just entering secondary school in Vietnam, that's different from a student who's 15 years old. And if they're 17 or 18, they're getting ready to go to university, that's even more difficult. So you could actually ask, you could ask this question in a debate. You could say, well, who exactly is this reading list for? Is it for a 12-year-old student, a 15-year-old student, or an 18-year-old student? Do you see how it changes? It's a great way to, really get into a deep debate. All right, now this gets a little bit challenging. Let's go to Andrew. Can you read this blue part here?
Dạ,
Okay.
con đang học,
Hello.
học đi bài.
Who's that talking, Andrew?
Dạ.
Sylvia, I think.
All right, here we go, Andrew.
Okay. Getting back to this idea of deductive reasoning, let's define it step by step here. Deductive reasoning is a logical process where conclusions are drawn from a set of premises that are assumed to be true. Here's a brief outline of deductive reasoning. Premises, definitions, statements or propositions that provide the foundation for the argument. They're assumed to be true. In debate, why ask yourself, what is the foundation of my argument? Or what is the basic foundation of the team's argument? They're not making that clear. This is important because when you write a school essay, you could ask yourself, am I making this argument clear enough to be understood? Is my foundation strong?
Yeah, so I tried to make it for essay writing and for debate. You ask yourself, is this part of my foundation? Is this a good foundation? Andrew, let's see, Billy, you have a question? Please ask your question. Mr. Billy. Billy. Hello, Billy.
Yeah, I just want to read.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, Billy, I got this reading for you here, and it will go down to, let's start there. We have this funny picture I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, so premise, here we go.
Premise 1, all humans are mortal. One day we all died. Premise 2, Socrates is a human, therefore Socrates will one day die. In a debate, you could say, I disagree with your basic premise. Just because Socrates is a human doesn't mean he's mortal. This means he can never die. But he did die after the Christian of Einstein told him he had to drink poison or leave the city. They began to hate him because he would walk all around a day, asking people questions and getting on their nerves.
Yeah, so his name is Socrates. And so in this movie, do you guys know Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? If you can get this on Reddit or another source, these are two teenagers and their summer project. Their teacher gives them a summer reading list. So it's kind of like the Magic Tree House. These two boys have to go back and meet Socrates and ask him questions, but they're not very good students. They're kind of stupid students. So they say his name, they call him Socrates instead of Socrates. And so they say, hey, Socrates, we have questions for you. And then he tries to educate them in deductive reasoning. By the way, do you know who this famous actor is, you guys? Do you guys know who that is? All right, I'll show you on Google. I think you guys should find this interesting. I'm not sure if you know him because this movie was 20 years ago, 24 years ago. But so I don't know.
Can you read? Oh yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
John Wick actor.
Yeah, there you go. Keanu Reeves is so cool. Did you guys know he's 50% Chinese? His grandmother was a Chinese person from Hawaii. And so there he is. When he became an adult, he became super cool. Do you know why this guy is a really nice guy, you guys? He's actually a really good person. When he made Matrix, he was already a really rich guy from all the other movies he made. So he gave the oh, I'm sorry, I don't have it on share screen, so we can't do Keanu Reeves. Here's Keanu Reeves. Here's Keanu Reeves. And your mom and dads probably know Keanu Reeves in the Matrix movies, right? Matrix here. When he made Matrix 1 or 2, he gave 50% of his money, which is $25 million. He gave $20 million to all the people who did the CGI because they did such a great job. He gave them bonuses when they finished the movie, and they were completely shocked that he was so kind that he would just give them money. He said, I'm not giving it away. He said, you guys earn this money with amazing computer graphics. So this is a really cool guy. He's one of my heroes. He has a very simple life. He doesn't lead a rich life. And he's also really into Asian philosophy, Chinese philosophy. And by the way, he was so cool in his Matrix clothes and these sunglasses that 25 years ago, he created a whole a Matrix fashion look. And so, yeah, he's really cool. I really like Keanu Reeves. But when he was a teenager, he did that thing with Socrates. I'll go back to that thing. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Look at how young he was here. He was like 17 years old when this was his first movie. Okay, so Socrates is the father of deductive reasoning, but also inference. Inference. Hey, Jenny has that little brother. Jenny, your little brother sneaking up on you like a ninja. Let's see. Who can we get? I want another reader here. So teaching you guys is kind of important. Tommy, are you here, Tommy? Mr.
Yeah.
Tommy. Hey, Tommy, how are you?
I'm fine.
Hey, Tommy, can you read this thing called inference? You're a good reader, and this is a little bit difficult, but try.
Inference.
Definition.
Definition. The logical process of deriving a conclusion from the given premise.
Hmm.
Example, since all humans are moral and Socrates
Yeah.
is a human, it follows that Socrates is mortal.
Yeah.
3. Conclusion. Definition. The statement that logical follows from the premise. Example, therefore, Socrates is mortal.
Yeah. So what this means, you say this guy is a human. One day he will die. So therefore he is mortal. Do you see how you're concluding? You're bringing it down, down, down. You're always doing that in your debate, in your logic, but also in your papers you write for teachers. So structure of deductive reasoning, you make a major premise, and then you make a general statement or universal truth. All humans are mortal. Minor premise, a specific statement related to the major premise. Example, Socrates is human. Conclusion, the result of applying the general statement to the specific case. Therefore, Socrates is mortal. Okay, here's a more easy way to understand it, because this is really confusing, you guys. You can say like, what is this all about? This is crazy. This is called syllogistic form. It's a big word, but let's just read it here. Vu, you joined our class. How are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Vu, can you read this blue box here called major premise?
Okay. Like major premise, all mammals are warm-blooded. Minor premise, whales are mammals. Conclusions, therefore, whales are warm-blooded. Characteristic of deductive reasoning. Certainty, if the premises are true, the conclusions must be true. Validity, the argument is structured correctly according to logical rules. Soundness, the argument is both valid and the premises are actually true.
Yeah, so when you guys are doing debate, your judges are going to be looking at these 3 points. This is why I'm teaching this to you. It's really important. Judges are going to be looking for certainty, validity. Is it true? Does it sound true? And soundness also. The argument is both valid, it's true, but the premises are actually true too, right? So, you know, you're arguing the whale has warm blood. All mammals have warm blood, so we can say that whales are mammals, right? Warm blood, and they give milk to their babies is the definition of a mammal, right? You guys know mammals from science class, right? Tina, you guys know mammals from biology class in high school?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of
Well,
easy, huh?
Actually, science and my school teach about that too.
Oh, they taught you this?
Yeah.
Now, was this interesting, or was this one of those courses you're like, this is too easy? Why are they teaching this to us? Remember you said sometimes there are classes you go, why are they teaching this? We can learn this in science class. We don't have to take an outside logic class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think they could teach this in math class and science class?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. By the way, mathematics is always using this, you guys. Do you remember mathematics? You guys are pretty good at mathematics. You like mathematics? You guys know that one, right? It's so easy, right? You learn that one. Let me ask, Andrew, did you learn this in math already?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's,
I'm not sure.
oh, okay.
I do see some of this in one of my books.
Okay, so Mia, what this is what deductive reasoning is. It's just in its most basic form, A equals B, B equals C, then A equals C, right? And so it's just very basic. It's almost so easy that some people say, well, why waste time thinking about that, right? But it's important. Yeah.
I maybe see it in one of my instruction book of blood.
Uh,
I had three kinds of books of it.
okay. So yeah,
Type of blood.
you
Type
just have
of
to
blood.
keep studying it and studying it. Oh no, Tina is being attacked by a Lego creature. Tina, who is that? Your brother? Who's got the Lego? Someone's attacking you with Legos. Is that your brother, Tina?
Yeah, he's my brother, and he's just looking at the screen and saying that he doesn't understand.
Okay, so Tina, we could do this. All brother, we all, well, let's see, we all have brothers. My brother is annoying. Okay. Therefore,
Really annoying.
okay. What do you guys think? Is this a truthful statement? Could you say that? Jenny, what do you think?
True.
I'm asking
True
Jenny.
because last time my brother wanted to like joke me in my other class.
Uh-huh.
That
Mia,
time I was
Jenny,
at my dad's office.
do you think this is a truthful statement, Jenny? Mia
No,
supports
so
it. Yeah, it's false. Why is it false?
like it depends on their personality more. I think so. Like my brother, yeah, like he is, yeah, not so annoyed. I think so. And also it's depend on the way you think about him. Like maybe you can think his actions are annoying, but when you switch to another aspect, you think, oh, he is so cute. He just
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to like get my attention to him or something like that. It's just depends on our perspective and their personality. I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice work. So yeah, Jenny, this is a really good negation. Remember, we're talking about the negative team negates, right? They say, no, that's not quite true. And so you did a nice negation. It's called a negation to show that it's not true. It's not universal. So in logic, that's called it's not universally true. Let me go back to Tina. Tina, you learned that idea that it's not universally true. Do you know that expression?
It's the first time I've heard of it's not universally true.
Yeah.
I just think of the universe since it kind of sounds like
kind of sci-fi or something. Okay. It's not universally true means it's not true all the time and everywhere. You say,
yeah, because the universe is time and places. Okay, I understand it now.
exceptions to the idea that little brothers, Mia, you can argue against this, Mia. And this is what Jenny was arguing very well. Some people say, no, my brother's cute sometimes. I enjoy playing with him. He's not annoying all the time. He's just annoying sometimes, you know. So it's not universally true. So do you guys understand what that kind of fun example? That's what you're doing there is deductive reasoning, right? Okay, now the opposite. Hey, Billy, would you like to read again? And this is a little bit difficult to read. You know, some of the words, the word is fallacy.
Yeah.
Okay. The opposite of rational deductive reasoning.
The fallacy of occurring specifics. The universe
universal principles is known as
Hasty.
gender. I don't know this one.
Oh, generalization.
Generalization, also called falsely generalization, is this facet occurs when a conclusion about a whole group or category is drawn based on an
Insufficient.
insufficient or non-respect
Representative.
representative sample.
Yeah. Insufficient means not enough information. And so again, you guys are going to use this a lot in your secondary and university studies. You could say there's not enough information here to say this is true. Now, this is a really big thing to learn because, you know, in America, people like Donald Trump doesn't think that the world's climate is changing. And so he has these scientists who support him who say, there is not enough information. But this is a very small minority of scientists. I don't know the percentage, but they're like, Trump and those other scientists are crazy. The scientists who say the world is not heating up work for the oil companies and they don't care about the earth. They just want to sell oil, right? Andrew, do you know this idea? Is Andrew there? Andrew, how are you? Mr. Nyo.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you know that a group of scientists take money from the oil industries? And so they say that climate change is not happening because they want to continue selling trillions of dollars a year of oil. Their argument is there's not enough information or data to say that the world is heating up, that the world is getting hotter. But the majority of scientists say, no, it's true. We have enough data. The word is data. We have enough data to show that the world is getting hotter, right? Okay. Now this gets crazy. Do you guys know there's a group of people called the Flat Earth people?
Yeah, like people who think the earth is flat.
Yeah. They think the earth is flat and they say there isn't enough information. I mean, this is crazy, you guys, right? How do you guys know?
We can clearly see that we can clearly see the Earth's curvation.
Yes.
If we go outside and look far.
Yes, very nice. Do you guys curvation? I hope I spelled that. Oh no, I didn't get curvation right, you guys. Oh no, this is gonna make me crazy. Curved surface. Let's call it curved surface. But curvation is really good. Was that Tina who said that? Curved surface. Do you guys know that in 1490, before he set sail, Columbus was in Portugal and Spain trying to get sailors to work the 3 ships to go to what he thought was India, but it was really America. And they said, no, we can't. The ship is going to go off the edge of the earth because the earth is flat. And Columbus would sit in the shipyard, the harbor of Portugal, which had a lot of small ships that were going around Africa to India to buy spices and silk from Vietnam and gold. And Columbus said, look at how the ships disappear. And then the men said, yeah, because they're falling off the earth. And then Columbus would say, well, why is it that these ships always come back like 9 months later full of treasure from India, spices, silk from Vietnam and China, and tea and spices? If they fell off the earth, how would they come back? So what Columbus was trying to tell these people is the earth is round. Look at the ships disappear because they're going around the earth, right? So that's why we know the flat earth is just a really weird idea. Okay. Andrew, can you read these ones? Hasty generalization. Be careful of this in a debate. You'll hear it on your own team or the other team. You'll say, oh, they're making generalizations too quickly and they're making some real basic mistakes and the judges are going to minus points on them. So go ahead, Andrew.
Key characteristics of hasty generalization. Insufficient evidence. Draw a broad conclusion from a limited number of specific instances. Non-representative sample. Using examples that do not adequately represent the entire group or category. Over generalization. Applying the characteristics of a few cases to all cases within the group.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Really good. Let's get another reader here because I want you all to have a chance to talk and join in the class. So somebody whom I haven't called on
I
enough.
want to read.
All right, Jenny. Nice, Jenny. Jenny, can you read? This is actually really important because it's a really nice example of these. Okay, here we go.
Example scenarios.
Scenarios, yes, scenarios.
Scenarios. Example scenarios. Small sample size. I met two people from country X, and they were both unfriendly. Therefore, everyone from country X is unfriendly.
Yeah.
Two
Atypical.
typical examples. My friend got sick after eating at that restaurant once, so the food at that restaurant is always unsafe.
Yeah, atypical means it's not. There are many exceptions to the rule. So that's just one restaurant that one night it had a dirty kitchen and somebody got sick. But then the next night they cleaned the kitchen because the police came and said, someone got sick at your restaurant. You got to clean this kitchen. Now for the next 5 years, the restaurant never has a sick person because it's always clean. So it's an atypical example. Atypical means not the regular way something happens, I guess. Atypical means not typical. All right. Mia, how are you doing, Miss Mia?
I'm fine, teacher.
So Mia, you were telling me before about a restaurant food that got you sick or your brother sick? What was that story?
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought that was you last time in winter. Somebody had some bad food and got sick. That wasn't you. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Mia. I thought that was you. All right. Let's just look at this because it's kind of important. Let's see. Tina, this is kind of long. Would you like to read this here, starting here? What is a fallacy?
Okay. Why it's a fallacy? Logical error. The conclusion is not logically supported by the premises because the sample size is too small or not representative.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bias.
and stereotyping. It often leads to stereotypes and biased thinking as it relies on limited observations to make sweeping generalizations.
Yeah.
How to avoid hasty generalization. Use larger samples. Ensure that the sample size is large enough to be representative of the population. Consider variability. Take into account the variability within the group or category before making a generalization. Seek diverse examples. Use a wide range of examples to ensure the conclusion is more likely to be accurate. Example of correct generalization.
Yeah.
Tongue twister. Sufficient evidence. Multiple studies involving thousands of participants from diverse backgrounds have shown that smoking increased the risk of lung cancer. By avoiding hasty generalization, arguments can be more logically sound and less prone to fallacious reasoning.
Yeah, fallacious reasoning just means false reasoning or bad reasoning. It just doesn't add up. Example. Two plus 2 equals 5. Billy, does that sound good to you?
No, it's
No.
4, not 5.
False. Yeah,
It's 4, not 5.
totally false. All right. All right. Okay, how about this? Andrew Nyo, what do you think?
I'm not sure. Like, not all of them.
Yeah.
Like, just like 10%, 20%.
I use Porsche because when I lived in Taipei, Andrew, there are all these really expensive Porsches. But then there are these unbelievably poor people on bicycles that collect garbage all day to make extra money. And these people are like 75, 80 years old and they're still working. So sometimes Taiwan has some areas that are kind of poor. Okay, so I put an extreme example for Billy that 2 + 2 = 5, so you can clearly see it's false. And then I also did that all Vietnamese people are rich, right? Okay, so we have about 10 minutes. Can you guys think of some? Okay, so before we talked about the flat earth, you know, there are actually people who still believe the earth is flat, right? It's just crazy. In fact, let's look at a map that these people use, they claim is true, because it's such a weird argument, you guys. But it's kind of fun because flat earth people are really stubborn and they're really strange. So flat earth, let's see, the flat earth, what they say. It's so weird because in ancient Greece and ancient Rome, they really did think the earth was flat. So this was their idea of a flat earth. This is what they say it looks like, right? And if you sell your ship, you're going to fall off. So they say, how come ships don't fall off? And they say, well, they go around. They never go to the edge, right? And this is just a really strange, false idea, the flat earth. Because if you look at ancient maps, they just show that ancient maps look like this. This is Columbus's map, by the way. This actually shows that the earth is getting round, right? But they have no idea that America is here. They know that if they sail around Africa, they'll get to India. They know that silk comes from Vietnam and China. Spices come from Indonesia and India. So this map is actually beginning to show the curves. I think this is what Tina called the curvature or the curvation.
Curvation.
Curvation, yeah. So they're getting it right. They're getting close to curvation, but it's still not quite. It's still not quite complete because they don't show America. Did you know that Columbus, when he realized that he wasn't in America, then he thought he was in Japan. He just, even when he died, he never realized that he just discovered North and South America. It was a new continent. So he never could realize, he could never understand that. The Roman Empire, no, this is showing curves too. That's not a good map, you guys. We need a really old map where the Portuguese, let's use a Portuguese map. Portuguese ancient map, because the Portuguese are the ones who had the ships. Portuguese ancient maps. Okay, this is good, yeah. So let me see. So it's still not great. Here's the Portuguese map of Africa. They would trade, they'd go here to West Africa. And so there's no curvature here. It's all flat. So this is when they still thought it was a flat earth.
Oh.
By the way, yeah, the Portuguese would sell their ships on the west coast of Africa, and the men would get bitten by mosquitoes and get malaria, the blood disease. So that's what malaria is Portuguese. It means bad air. They thought the air was so hot and wet that it was making the sailors fall asleep sick and die. But it was malaria was actually the mosquitoes would bite the sailors and give them blood poisoning, right? So it's kind of crazy. All right, we have 10 minutes. Can you guys think of some really strange ideas you've heard, like strange stories that kids tell at school, right? Or you read them on the internet? Strange stories you hear on the internet or from friends where there is fallacious reasoning, meaning false reasoning. Okay, can you guys think of some situation where there's false reasoning? Some of the stories you hear when you're teenagers are like weird things in food. For example, there was this famous chewing gum, and when we were kids, we say, oh, the company puts little eggs that spiders make to make it more chewy. It was called the spider eggs. It was really disgusting. And so many kids in America were telling this false story that the company that made the bubble gum put a big ad in all the newspapers saying to mothers and fathers, children are telling your children crazy false stories about our chewing gum. And they didn't even mention spider eggs. They just said, stop telling crazy stories about our chewing gum. They didn't want to put spider eggs in the newspaper advertisement because then it makes people think, oh, there really are spider eggs in the chewing gum. It was just such a weird story and completely false. But that's not quite what I want to use for today's thing. Tina, can you think of a strange thing that you've heard that you know must not be true?
So one time I was talking to my friend and I was talking about art and stuff I like. And then my friend said, yeah, all artists are mentally ill. Like, girl, what?
Yeah, nice example. So the friend said, all artists
are mentally ill.
Yeah. Example, Van Gogh is one, right? Do you guys know the American artist Andy Warhol?
Yeah.
You know, this guy would paint cans of soup and he called it pop art. And people would say, oh, that's so strange. Why would you do that? But Andy Warhol was just a very relaxed guy who was pretty happy with life. He was just very happy to live in New York. Let me show you a picture of Andy Warhol, because if you see him, you might say, oh, he looks strange. He died about 35 years ago, Andy Warhol. You know, if you say he looks strange just because he always wore a black turtleneck and he looked, do you guys know the word eccentric? Eccentric means a little bit crazy or a little bit strange. But so if you look at him, Andy always wore this was like a white wig because he was bald. He lost all his hair. And so he looked like that in the 1970s and 80s. I think he looked kind of cool. And you say, well, what kind of artwork did he do? You could do Andy Warhol. If you look at his paintings, these are beautiful paintings. They're not so bad. He would paint famous people like Marilyn Monroe. This is one of his famous ones. He loved to paint famous people. This is the famous banana he painted for a rock band called the Velvet Underground. Here he painted the Queen when she was really young, the Queen of England. He also painted zebras. He was a cool guy. His soup cans were really cool. I like his soup cans. Andy Warhol paintings, soup cans. But does this make him crazy? No, he's just a interesting guy. Like he said, why not paint a can of soup? Tomato soup is really interesting. So he painted this. So getting back to Tina's thing, Tina, how did you argue back against your friend saying all artists are crazy? So I want to say Tina's counter argument. How did you tell your friend?
Okay. So I pull out a bunch of examples since I want to be an artist and I know much about art, not everything.
Yeah.
but I know pretty much about art. So I pull out an example like, okay, so Da Vinci is not mentally ill. My
Yeah.
sister, who's an artist, is not mentally ill. So what do you think? What do you think about all artists are mentally ill?
Yeah.
In what way? Because they are so good, you go mentally ill for them.
Yeah.
I said that because I was kind of mad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could, Tina, you could say many artists are dissatisfied by modern urban living. Things like noisy cars get them angry. So they channel their anger into paintings about noisy cars. Okay. Does this make them crazy?
Art is a way to show out your feelings, your emotions in a unique way. We can just always say, oh, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm angry. We can spread that through poetry, arts, and many other reasons.
Nice. For example, okay, let me show you an extreme example. Now we have to be careful with extreme examples, you guys, because part of today is arguing against extreme examples. If you look at this, right, this is a prime example. Okay, now, if I were in a debate, Tina, this would be a difficult example to use. Van Gogh loved painting sunflowers. I think he painted 8 or 12 different sunflowers, and he would get really angry at the results. So he would just destroy the wet oil on the canvas. And Van Gogh, he was a cheap guy. He didn't spend a lot of money on his on his oil paints. He would make them himself. They were actually kind of dangerous because there was a lot of lead in the paints, and he was putting it in his mouth too. So this is maybe what made him a little bit crazy. Now, Van Gogh really was crazy, you guys. He had a lot of mental health problems. But look at, even with mental health problems, he made these beautiful sunflowers, right? So you could say, Van Gogh made beautiful paintings, but he was kind of crazy. But that's a difficult argument to make, Tina, because if someone's debating you, they might say, yeah, but Van Gogh is totally crazy. Remember, he shot himself in the head. Actually, he didn't shoot himself in the head. He shot himself in the side with a shotgun to kill black crows in the fields of France. One day he just killed himself.
Hey, teacher.
Yeah.
Did
Yes.
you notice
Yes, Mia?
Van Gogh was too crazy that he even cut one of his ears.
Yeah, he cut off his ear and sent it to his girlfriend. Remember that? So
Yeah,
he's
I have
maybe
a book
not a
about
good
him.
example to use, right?
I have a book about him.
So the thing is, Mia, do you see the sunflowers? One of his sunflower paintings, I'm not sure which one it is, because he would just paint sunflowers. This is when he was close to his death. He painted, I think, this one or another one. A Japanese insurance company bought this back in 1988 when Japan was really rich. They had a lot of money. And the company spent $44 million. It was the most amount of money ever spent on a sunflower. Because remember, Van Gogh did 8 or 12 different sunflower paintings. So they paid $44 million on a sunflower painting. And everyone said, oh, they're crazy. Nobody ever spent $44 million. But the Japanese insurance company said, no, this is a good investment. Okay. So $44 million was the price in 1988. Let's check on ChatGPT. Let's check the current price of that Van Gogh painting and see if the Japanese company made a good.
I don't know, but it reminds me of
Yeah.
Conan, the Suzuki's family.
Yes, exactly. What is the current value of the Van Gogh sunflower painting? Okay, I'm going to put this so you guys can all share and see my question as I'm typing it, because this is a great question to ask. What is, okay, if I can get it there, you guys, it's all the way down in the corner. I can never get my thing right here. Okay, what is the current value of the Van Gogh sunflower painting that the Japanese, I think it's insurance company, bought in the late 1980s for $44 million? Let's see if it was a good investment. And it says, now sometimes ChatGPT, oh, you guys, look, can you see this here? It's worth $200 million today. So the Japanese company actually made a really good investment. It's five times as much money over a 35-year period, right? Andrew, do you think that's a pretty good investment?
Yeah, maybe like I went into like an inflation calculator. It said that it's just 160 million.
Yeah, but still pretty good with investment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have that. If somebody gave you that money, Andrew, would you say, yeah, I'll take it, right? Okay, so do you guys understand the homework? Just for your homework, it's kind of an easy, fun homework assignment, you guys. Find something, here, I'll type it out for you so you understand. Let's see. Can you think of some crazy thing you've heard and then negate that crazy thing you've heard? For example, Tina's friend said, all artists are crazy. And then Tina successfully pushed back by saying, no, there are examples where artists just react to the environment. They're mentally healthy people. They just say not all art has to be beautiful and happy. It can show terrible things also, right? Or dirty things or ugly things, right? Okay, so do you guys understand? Can you think of a story that is kind of crazy and then you guys negate that story? Okay, so there it is, you guys. This will go into your Zalo. Can you think of some crazy things you have heard, then negate them for your homework? You can state that's not universally true. There are many exceptions. Then you guys negate the story by showing why it makes no sense or why it isn't true, because you're going to have to do this in debate when they throw you a topic. It's called an impromptu debate. It means just quick reaction to a debate topic, right? How does it sound? Sound like interesting homework, you guys? I think it's fun because you can tell a crazy story. Hey, Billy, do you like this homework?
Yes, I do.
It's kind of cool because you can tell a totally crazy story if you want. And you say, that story is not true because blah, 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 blah. Nice. I'm glad you like it, Billy. Okay, you guys, I'll put that in Yalo. I will see you on Wednesday, all right? Thanks for a nice discussion on art and craziness and mental health and everything else. Thank you for helping Tina with that really good example. And I will say thank you to Billy and thank you to Jenny and Andrew Nyo and Mia. Thank you so much for helping us, Mia. And we have Tina, Billy, Survia. Thank you, Tommy, Vu, and Ipon too. I don't know who that is. An and Lucy and Jenny and Fiona. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Okay? Bye-bye, everyone.
I want to
Teacher,
ask
you
a
are in
question.
Hiroshima.
Okay, Jenny, you can ask. I'm still here. Don't worry.
I wonder when this class will end.
Oh, it's Ms. Duke wrote that it's class number 7. So we have 8, 9, and 10. And so that would be Wednesday, August 7, Friday, August 9, Monday, the 12th will be our last class. Is that okay?
So
Teacher,
it's
can I
like
ask?
next week?
Yeah, next week. Is that all right? Does that fit your schedule, Jenny?
No, I just want to know when. I don't have any like things or tasks to do.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
Teacher, can I ask?
Bye,
Yeah,
teacher.
Mia, go ahead. You can go or you can ask a question. We'll see you, Billy.
Are you living in Hiroshima?
Yeah, I'm still in Hiroshima. Tomorrow, August 6th, is the 79th anniversary of the dropping of the bomb. So it's kind of a crazy day.
Oh,
A lot of
I have a timer of Hiroshima in my phone.
okay. So if you were born in 1940, you would be 5 years old when the bomb was dropped. But those people are 84 years old now. So when they go to the Peace Park with thousands of people, it's really hot. And I feel sorry for the old people, but they just have to be there because they are the survivors of the bomb. They're called Hibakusha. It means atomic bomb survivor. So Mia, I don't go to the Peace Park tomorrow because it's so hot and it's so sad that I just watch it on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye,
I'll tell
teacher.
you. Bye-bye, Mia. Bye-bye. Take care, Jenny.
Can
See
I
you.
ask a contest question?
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye-bye, Jenny. Bye-bye, Fiona. Fiona,
Can
do you
I
have a
ask a
question?
question?
Oh, yes, sure, Fiona. Go ahead.
All right. So what when are we done with debate face to face and debate with each other?
Do you want to start doing that with our crazy topic?
Yes, and we're gonna set it up, and then
Okay.
in the classroom we're gonna use face to face in
Yeah,
some of
let's
the
do it.
smaller room, and we're
Let's-
gonna talk about it.
Let's do that Wednesday, Friday, and Monday. Those are our 3 final classes, you guys. So Fiona, we'll definitely have you, in English, it's called square off, means face-to-face debate.
Yeah.
Would you like to try that?
Yes, absolutely.
Very cool. All right. And so the first debate on Wednesday, we'll do crazy topics and you guys try to negate each other. Okay.